Hi Yatin. Hi Manivardhan. So,
Hi, Paish.
so, okay, let me introduce myself first. I've been working in validation from last 10 years. So I've been associated with companies like Intel, MediaTek, Synopsys. Right now I'm working with Synopsys. Uh, my total years of experience is around 9 to 10. And I think you have gone through the brochure, right? The topics that we have planned for the session, right?
Yes, yes, I have seen the brochure.
Okay. So maybe do you have can I know what your experience are and kind of what is the field of your interest? Why do you want to switch or something like that?
Hey, hey, hi, myself, I'm like Manivardhan, and I'm working as an like a validation engineer, but it's completely different. I am working on a medical device.
Okay.
I'm thinking to upskill my like a career. It's completely like a similar, like a manual tester. Like just we're gonna be work on the only documents and the validation plans it's not completely, it's completely like only manual side.
So
It's
manual side,
not
but what do you do exactly? Like in terms
mm,
of it may be manual, but what exactly do you verify or validate?
we gonna write test reports and test cases and protocols. We're gonna do like some basics. Like a test is like a operational like qualificational installation about on the equipment. We perform like a testing on the equipment.
Okay, so it's like manual for your like user manual
Yeah.
kind of. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So you wanted to
we're
try
gonna
what
prepare the
exactly.
test case and we're gonna work on that equipment.
Okay, so it's like more of your
Mm.
kind of user manual that you will create, and you will verify whether
Yeah,
all the
that's
content
correct.
in user manual is as per your expectation or no. And I
Yeah.
mean, do you do I mean, you any product that you work on specifically?
Yes, man. Like we work on the class three medical devices. It's it's work on like hard devices,
Okay, hard kind of device. So it's like
hard kind
embedded
of.
system kind of validation or
No,
verification that you do.
we cannot. We don't do anything like just we perform only three tests. Like I told you before, like installation and according to that, man, like it's working in the lab or not, like that some test cases will write and we'll perform that installation. From the on that we'll write the report.
Okay, so no
Yeah,
kind of
just
silicon validation
not,
experience.
nothing, just
Okay.
only validating the equipment device.
Okay. And how much duration of how much is your experience in the and
It's I mean it's around 4 to 5 years.
okay, okay, understood.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hi, Mani, but nice to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yatin?
Uh, yeah, hi. Actually, I am working in SK Hynix and I
Okay,
have total 9 to 10 year experience.
okay,
Currently, I am working with the pre-validation on the memory devices like DDR4, LP4, LP4X, LP5X, and I'm working on the UFS, but my mainly focus on the DDR only. And what actually we are doing, like we are supplying some product, our DDR product to in a Indian customer. So what we will do, we will validate our DDR on customer hardware. So in
okay,
that SIPI testing, we cover like signal integrity, power integrity, like timing. We measured all the signal on the DDR through oscilloscope, and
okay.
we make sure like it is under the ZX spec.
Understood,
And
understood. So it's
yeah
kind of
and
silicon characterization you are working on, is it?
yes, the characterization on DDR only on customer product, not pre
Okay,
silicon, or it is the before going any product, before going in the mass production. So before that, we are doing the SIPI testing. So if before going in the mass production, we can, if any there if any the spec is out of spec, then we can guide to customer for the modification.
okay. So it's kind
So
of characterization you're working on, and you do kind of clock characterization. You
All
verify
all
whether.
like, so we verify all the signals, like important signal, like power signal, the clock signal, read write, chip selection signal, all the signal which is related to memory,
Okay, okay,
not controller side. Memory side we test our memory, not controller
okay.
we are checking actually.
Understand. So you do you have any silicon bring up or validation kind of experience
No,
along with?
I don't have any silicon validation. I have only the memory side validation experience.
Okay,
So actually, I want to like so nowadays the silicon validation is very like the future, right? So I
hmm,
want to bring up myself for the future
understood.
requirement.
And you, it's a kind of upskill. I'll come back to what is your expectation from the course later, Yatin. But let me get
Sure,
from Mahadesh what his experience is, and
sure, sure,
let's
sure.
see.
Yeah, good evening. This is Mahadesh. I'm from Bangalore.
Okay.
I have worked as assistant professor in electronics department for 10 years, and from past 3.5 years, I'm working as a technical trainer at Dassault Semiconductor. So
That's all.
basically, it is a silicon validation solution provider, service provider.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Tesol is a kind of
My role
leading.
here is related to ATE and DFT. I train freshers on ATE, 93K, and DFT.
Okay. So do you have any real validation or silicon validation experience or no?
I don't have any actual project experience. So we have
Okay.
some prototypes for which we are going to do parametric test, functional test for a digital and small analog device in that lab itself.
Okay. So what exactly, when you say we have some products, right? Or kind of what do you say, the
Yeah, like for
prototype, right?
student
Prototype.
level, we
What
make
exactly do you validate, or what do you verify? Is there any specific protocol or?
uh, like SPI I2C, and then we have this parametric validation of ADC.
Okay.
Like, uh,
So you have test cases, you write test cases, or you have rewritten test cases, you just explain what needs to be done.
like as per the test conditions, what they have mentioned, we will write a Python code using a small equipment, which is like a AT only. From
Understood.
that, we train the students.
Understood. Okay. Yeah. So usually I mean lectures or discussions, I would say, not lectures. So usually we have discussions. So what all the discussions we have is, I will say a few words and then probably I'll ask, what do you understand or do you have any questions, kind of thing. So mostly it's interactive. Okay, that's right now how it is. It will be the same. If you have some questions, you can ask me, and then probably we can discuss on topic, and then we can move ahead from there. So I just wanted to know, as you have gone through the browser, what are the questions you have? Like, what is your expectation? What do you want to learn? Is there any specific area you want to explore, or you just wanted to have a general idea, or is there any, protocol you're expecting, or any test cases or case studies you wanted to cover? What exactly is your expectation from the course? Maybe anyone can go ahead if they have direct questions.
So can I start? Can I?
Yeah,
Can I? So actually, I want to understand like this is course is a practical or just the session?
it
Uh,
will be theory, Yatin. So the problem with having practical is, see, even if, let's say, I have a lab equipment and I'm showing you how your clock is measured, how are you going to see it, right? Until you do it in the lab. But there are few steps or few topics that you should know. For example, JTAG, or for example, protocol verification, why validation is important, what are the different parameters you see, what are most commonly asked interview questions, kind of stuff, which you should know, uh, appearing for an interview. And then it depends on what the product is at the end of the day, right? Like, So let's say an example whether Intel and AMD both provides or does CPU, but the test structure or the validation profile in both of the companies are different, right? The environment itself is different, and how they execute the test, how the automation is created is different. But there are few very basic stuff. What are resistors? How do you address it? How do you do JTAG programming? What is expectation from JTAG programming? What is JTAG protocol? What are common protocols which are used? What are high speed protocols which are used? Which are theory related. So there are material available, but it's scattered. It's not very uniform, right?
So,
So
so in this, yeah, so in this course, how much can you give me the how much is theory and how much is practical?
that's what I'm trying to say. There is no practical.
No practical, only basic understanding of the validation, right? Post or
Yeah, for
pre-validation, right?
silicon validation, because even if practical is there, as I said, right? For example, people like Manivardan can relate to it. That like if even if I have a oscilloscope, how will you see that what I'm probing? At the end of the day, the job of a validation engineer is to validate the spec basically, right? Now,
Mm.
if you understand what specs to read, probably you will be able to write a test case around it. But there are, I mean, even if let's say I have an right now I have oscilloscope connected and I am trying to teach you I2C protocol, right?
Mm.
How will I show it to you?
Yeah, so that's why I want to understand. This is the all basic understanding of what we should know.
Correct. So basic understanding which will be helpful for any company's interview. Like these are the questions or the setup that we have come up with, where it's not very specific in terms of any organization. Okay.
But if we going through the interview, but they ask like you have a practical knowledge about that, then what we can say? Actually,
Uh,
I don't have it. Just like I said, I have knowledge of the SIPI or the characterization as you mentioned, right? I
mhm,
have knowledge of that one only. I don't
mhm.
have any knowledge on the silicon validation.
Okay, so
So
that's what the main topic is. What is the expectation? Are you
my
targeting a company
yes,
which does specific protocols that you wanted to learn? Then you
yes,
can
yes.
come up saying that this is the protocol that I wanted to learn and which company you are targeting, right? And it has to be, the company that you. So if it's not a personal training, right? I'm not telling only Yatin. I have other people like, let's say
Mm,
Manivardhan or people who have already signed up.
mm,
Correct. So I can't be very specific on anyone's area of interest.
mm. So if I targeting like OSAT and whatever the recent OSAT and ATMT facility or some, so is there any requirement for the silicon validation where
Silicon
I can
validation is
target?
always required. So, but to go for an interview for silicon validation, right? They will ask you some basic questions. They will not ask you to connect to oscilloscope and show me how signal is measured, right? In an
Mm,
interview, that is very rare. I mean, that never happens. I have never seen it happening. But they will try to see how you are able to relate a practical scenario and how are you going to have a test case to target that scenario. Now, to target that scenario, what I would say is the case studies are more important, right? Like let's say you say I have worked on Certis IP, right? Then you should know exactly how Certis IP operates. What did you validate? Next question is what did you validate? Now, to understand what did you validate, you should know Certis IP, right?
mhm,
They will not ask you, okay, this is Certis IP, now you start validate and show me how will you validate it, right?
mm,
So it's more of creating a ground which will help you to jump up. So anyway, it's like in an interview they will try to put their problems and try to see if you are solving their problems, right?
mhm,
Let's say I am trying to recruit you, then the option is I will try to put you a problem statement that I am facing right now. Now, I am not the only one. There are hundreds of people working in silicon, right?
mhm,
And hundreds of people have hundreds of products and which have hundreds of different problems. Now, to cover that within a course is very impossible thing to do, right? So it's not like I will tell you everything in validation that will work definitely. But to get that terms, for example, JTAG is common that everyone should know. what JTAG is, right?
Mhm.
And for example, if we do case studies, then probably in the case studies, you would know that, okay, this is the product, these are its problems, and these are the test cases that I have written to validate them,
Mm.
right? So
Okay.
that's
So
how
you
I
mean
would.
to say like every protocol has a different JTAG. In that we have to write. We have first we have to know how to read the JTAG. मतलब ZX. In the memory side we call like ZX.
So yeah, but what I would say is what JTAG is, right? If you're clear in
Hmm.
what JTAG is, irrespective of what product is, right? I'm not saying
Hmm.
protocol, product. You will be able
Product.
to use that JTAG to address and do the configurations, and then whatever intended operation is, you will be able to do. Until and unless you will not learn JTAG, then probably it will be difficult for me to explain every product and how JTAG is used there, right? Because the
Hmm.
product list is never ending.
Hmm.
You have CPU, you have memories, you have IPs, that goes on, right?
Okay. So before going in any validation, we have to finalize which in which domain we have to go, like CPU or GPU or memory, that we have to select, or uh, like I want to
Let's
interview
say
in the my.
what okay, the problem statement is, let's say there is a silicon, right?
Mhm.
You should know what your objective is as a validation engineer, what you are supposed to do, right?
Hmm.
To know what you are supposed to know or supposed to do, you should know some basic stuff,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So basic stuff is what we are going to cover in theory only.
Okay.
Right. It's not like I'm going to tell you, okay, if you are working on CPU, then these are the questions, these are the project, and these are the topics you need to learn. No.
Hmm.
And even if you go for any company, they don't expect you that you should know all their products. You should know how to validate them. So there are few parameters like your clock, jitters, right? Those are
Hmm.
important parameters, setup time, hold time, which are very commonly asked, right?
Correct. Setup
If there is
time,
a
hold time.
clock jitter, what are the effects? How do you validate that on silicon? What you
Hmm.
have seen in your silicon? So that kind of question and interview will go on. But if you don't know what questions are being asked, probably you will never know what the. I mean, you will not be able to answer those questions, right?
But as per my experience, if I don't really work on the silicon, then interview can entertain me based on my theoretical question, very good theoretical answer.
That's what. So you're okay. So imagine this way. Okay, Intel is one of the company.
Okay,
Intel is working on CPU from last 50 years.
correct.
How do you want me to summarize all their learnings in 2 hours class? And Intel is not the only company. AMD is also there. The architecture is different. You have Nvidia, right? You have Qualcomm, which is memory mobile business, which is entirely like 30 years old company. And then how it's never ending ocean, right? You will not be able to kind of completely cover validation in some 40 50 hours. Do you
Mhm.
agree?
Yeah,
But
I get.
JTAG has been used by Intel as well. JTAG has been used by Qualcomm as well. All the companies use JTAG. So they will ask you whether you know JTAG or not.
Okay.
Now, to
So
answer that
you mean
question,
to say
you should
they
know
can
JTAG.
ask basic question only, not the real practical thing. You mean to say like that?
They will ask theory only. So, as a validation engineer, as you know, that you will be working on oscilloscope. So, do you expect in an interview they will give you an oscilloscope and ask you to measure, and then only they will select? No, right?
But they will not ask. But they expected to the when I join. But they will expect, right? I should know the. I should have a knowledge on oscilloscope also, right? I know the
Yeah.
basics from. Yeah, I know the basics, but you can understand, right? I
I
don't
understand. I
really work
understand
on the
your point.
silicon.
I understand your point. I am completely understanding what you are trying to say. But I
Yes.
don't understand how will you target one of the company. Let's say CPU, for example. How will you cover a running of 50 years into 2 hours or three
No,
hours?
no, not cover. Like, do you have any evaluation board, or I don't know, because I don't have any knowledge on the pre validation, how to validate pre
Yeah, yeah,
silicon
yeah.
validation.
Understood. But emulation board on what topic, right? That's what my question is. Like, if I tell you only CPU and you go for a company which is Qualcomm, which is mobile business, how will their learning works? No, right? So
Mm,
that's what, like, we don't have any emulation board or something to show you. And even if we have an emulation board, trying to show it on emulation board is difficult. Like, it needs a lot of setup, and the board itself cost around 10 to 15 lakhs or more than that. That's the minimum I'm quoting. And even if you have that, having an environment to show it to you, and anyway you will be just seeing it. It's not
yeah.
like you're going to probe it, right?
Mhm.
What's the point of having a practical experience if you're not able to do an hands-on on it? And now what I'm trying to say is, if you wanted to do an hands-on, then it needs to be a completely a product. So I should be someone who is starting a company equivalent to Intel, and then I should be showing you what my product should be validated on, and that will be a new product.
No, actually,
It's
you
not
have
the
a
intent
training.
of this,
Yeah,
which is not the intent of this class.
yeah, I can understand what you mean to say. I can understand, but but actually, I'm confused. Like, I don't know how the interview is asked and how it will be. So I just want to know, like, how this course is beneficial for me for enhance my skill, and I want to jump for the next my job for the silicon validation, because
Okay.
I just have a knowledge on oscilloscope, and I will be do like validation on the DDR. Other thing I don't know,
Yeah,
and I don't
100%.
know how. Yeah, I don't know how to crack the interview. What they will be asked, nothing I don't know. But they will be asked, do you have any knowledge on practical knowledge, or do you really practically work on this? Then I don't have any answer to give it them. I have practical knowledge if I do your course, but I don't have any practical knowledge on that. So
No, it's not
how
like
can I?
so to be honest, to be very transparent to you, I'm not going to tell you that, okay, this line you can put it and say that these are the topics that I have understood. It's more of a learning phase. It's not very kind of, put this in your resume and that will work and I will help you answering that all the questions around it. It's not that way. Yeah.
Hmm. So what is the motive of your course? Is like only basic understanding of the silicon
Concepts, not only basic concepts.
concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I come in?
Yeah.
Uh, just to add to what Yatin was asking, Yatin, by like what you are telling, you have good knowledge of oscilloscope that could be enough to get into particular domain where that is important. Like even I am in training department, right? So when we are doing validation, it is not essential you know each and every part of the device internally. Then you will become uh, expert who can copy that device, right? So we should know what are the important blocks and how to reach that block. For example, when they are telling memory device, you should know from JTAG how you reach through IJTAG and trigger the embedded circuit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
but that's a
Yeah.
more advanced topic, even I'll say, Mahadesh, right? So, for example,
And
you should know what JTAG is, why it is used.
yeah,
Why every
that
company
is
uses
what they
JTAG.
have designed in the course. But
Yeah.
my question is, like you have put up nearly 12 modules in that, and what is your plan? How do you cover the course first? Because we will be in office from morning till evening, and we may have some calls in between after coming back also. Like, what is the schedule and
So
how are you planning?
usually the classes are scheduled from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. to early morning before the day starts, because not only you, I am also working, right? So I will also be kind of stuck up with my work as well. So usually the timings will be 7 to 8 a.m.
Every day?
every day, or depending if you're okay, it depends on your availability as well. It's not like I'll just record a session if you're not there.
Okay. Suppose like
It's a 40 to 50 hours class.
okay,
Okay. And we will try to utilize it as much as possible when all the participants are involved. Now
okay.
sometime you will not be able to join 5 minutes before, that I can't help, but usually I'll make sure that I will convey it before to you so that you will be available, or you will have your availability present.
So it will be like a discussion class only, like
Yeah, it will be a discussion. It's more of a discussion. That's how it is, right? Like, Yatin,
okay.
I have a question and I'll answer it, kind of that. We can
Okay.
counter question, we can clarify even few things. If I don't know, probably I will have to do a research on it, come back with what appropriate answers are, and then provide it to you. I mean, you can have n number of questions, right? And
So
I might
suppose if
not
I am
have
not
all the
able
stuff
to
readily.
attend like these 2 days, I'm traveling outside, or I'm not able to attend these two classes, then will there be a pre-recorded like whatever discussed the content?
Recorded sessions will be there for sure, but we will try to make sure that you, if you are traveling and if you have conveyed, and if other people are okay, then probably we can postpone the class until your availability comes in. But let's say other people, for example, Yatin joins and he wanted to finish it as soon as possible, right? Then I can't force.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Like
Yeah,
solely on individual this thing what everybody is focused on. But that's what I'm asking. Like, is there any app or digital library where you have your content
yes,
uploaded? And
the
if I
sessions will be recorded.
I come back and repeat it or see it repeatedly and try to understand and then come back and ask questions like that.
Yeah, sessions will be recorded.
Okay.
Piyush, can I ask, I mean, like something in my
Yep.
case?
Yep.
Yeah, in my case, I mean, like I didn't know anything. Like I need to start from the scratch, right? What is
Yeah.
mean by like pre and post? Also, I didn't know anything, but I know how to like validate the devices or something. But
Hmm.
in like in a brochure, though you mentioned like for the automation, like we used to Python and like everything. But they
Hmm.
told me like 2.5 months. But is time to sufficient me like learn everything?
No, it will not be. But
Yeah, I mean, like,
see, I can. So if your expectation is, that's the reason I ask for or clarify for
mm,
the expectation. If your expectation is I will cover the Python coding from scratch, then no.
mm,
I can tell you how Python can be used and what data can be analyzed using Python, right? Like in terms of validation, if you, let's say, got some
mhm.
data, how are you going to use Python to kind of validate or kind of understand the uh, validation process? So it's not like I'm going to handhold you for the programming for Python. That is not what exactly is covered.
Okay, I mean, like in interview cases, like how gonna, I mean, like how gonna you automate the scripts and all everything means like they ask something about the Python means, I mean, like I need to learn myself separate, I mean, like a whole Python or something.
Yes,
You
so yes, obviously. So
mhm.
Python is not the only language people use, right? People use Perl as well.
Other
So do
language.
you want me to?
Mm,
How can I? That's very individual aspect, right? So what
mhm,
if you are comfortable in Python and I'm comfortable in Perl? Nobody's asking
mhm.
me to, change my language. I should be still okay programming it to Perl.
Okay,
Until
okay,
and unless I know what to write,
mhm,
it should be okay. Any language should be okay, right?
okay. But yeah, I mean, like you're telling, like I will give a basic idea about that, but you need to, I mean, like work
Yeah,
means
yeah. I
hard.
can give you how Python will help.
Mhm,
Python will or any language would help you program or help you facilitate your work,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
But
that I understand. How far should be it's gonna be done by using any language that should be fine.
yes, but if you, I mean, ideally, what I would
Mm,
say is any language you should know. You should know some basic stuff around it. You should know arrays. You should know all this stuff so that you can automate. And palindrome, sorting of an array, all those
okay.
questions that I'm not going to cover in the class.
Okay, I understand. But you mentioned that like after the course we're gonna choose like a three projects, like a real time projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like
So these
in
are
my
these
case,
are
how
what I'm calling case studies.
case studies. Like
Yeah.
in my case, how gonna helpful for me? Like
So, for example, let's say if somebody asks you what you have worked on, right? Or,
okay.
I mean, do you have any practical understanding of validation? Then you can say, okay, in the course, I mean, I did a course where these topics were discussed, so I know these things about validation on the specific thing. That will help me. I mean, that will help you answer the validation course. Okay, what do you know about validation? How do you validate it? What did you do? How do you? What are the issues that you will see? Right,
Mhm.
kind of stuff, but it's
Yeah.
not like a complete one, right? So I imagine, right, a product, right, a mobile is been kind of under development from last 20 years. I can't summarize that 20 years of work for like hundreds and thousands of people in 2 hours, but I can show you what are different products, like different protocols present in mobile. I can show you, let's say, Wi-Fi modules, right? How, if there's an issue, how do you validate it? As a validation engineer,
Yeah,
what is your approach to
that
solving
I
problem?
understand. In the interview time, like what I'm walking in, like in this, like what are the issues are you facing? How gonna you solve it? Like they're gonna
Yeah,
ask like that only, but
yeah.
they cannot ask the whole things. That I understand. But how the really the course is helpful, mean like upskill my career or not? That's
It
what
will
I'm
give you a
thinking.
basic idea, or it will give an
Mm-hmm.
overall idea in terms of what validation people are working
Mm-hmm.
on, what validation environment is, and it will
Mm-hmm.
help you answer basic questions that people expect you to know before starting any validation.
Okay, that I understood. Man, like I need to start from scratch, but I mean, like for me, it's take me like 2.5 months is not enough. Like it takes me more time to learn. But you're gonna be
Obviously,
supports if you support or not.
support in the sense, what support are you expecting? Like once you go for a job, then on-site support, or
No, 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 not on-site support. But what are the topics in these cases? And like if I focusing on something, companies like a Google,
yes,
they
yes,
work on
yes.
like a
We can have a
TPU.
separate 1 hour or a couple
Mm,
of hour session after case study. There you
mm,
can put up your questions on what exactly is that, what exactly is this block. But it again depends on your kind of your exploration as well, right? It's
I mean,
not
like
me that I can push all the details to you. Like you
that I
do your
understand.
research
But
and then
what my question is like, if I finish the course in 2.5, I mean, like in a 3 months, that's okay. I mean, like I can reach you. Like I can you can give me like a support or like in the helping learning the topics and everything. What are the doubts I'm having? Like interview, cracking the interview or something like a help in the resume.
yeah, I
How
can
to
help
mean?
you on, if you have any interview schedule, I can help you on questions that may be asked,
Mhm,
and probably give you help. I mean, help you understanding or
mhm,
understanding the JD. I can give you a heads up on what questions is being asked and how do you tackle it.
mhm,
But I mean, in terms of continuous after 2.5 months will be difficult, right? I can't. So
mhm.
I could have created a 100 hours session instead of 50 hours if I wanted specific details to be covered, right?
Mhm. Okay, I understand. Like, okay.
I can help you
Uh,
if a interview schedule. I can help you on the questions. I can help you on the how do you answer it, how do you approach it. But
mhm.
maybe I mean it will be still limited, right? I can't be
Yeah.
answering all, like if you have 10 interview schedules, I can't be scheduling a session only for you for 10 interviews, right? You got my
Okay. Okay.
point.
Yeah, I understand. Like, if I am focusing on something on company, like I'm thinking to do like a real time projects. Like, in my case, I mean, like, they're gonna think like a fresher, right? Like, I'm
Yeah,
switching to, I mean, like fresher. Man, but what they are looking means like if you do any real time projects. I mean, like if you give, I mean, like if you support in that, like I'm thinking to do that. Or you state me like only three study cases. If I
yeah.
prefer my own, like would you support me or not?
E- on the three test cases, if there are any concerns you have, probably I can address them.
Mm,
And
okay.
but I mean,
Yeah, I understand. I think the three gonna give only a basic study cases, right?
yeah,
It's
I would
not
say
too
yes.
much, not complexity, but they're gonna expect if you, I mean, like if you go to the interview, some they're gonna expect like more and more, right?
I
I mean, like,
mean, still,
like, in that fits to case studies like a little bit more complex for on myself. Like, I come up with a new
I
idea with
can't
a.
structure a
Mm,
course for one personal candidate, right?
yeah, that understand. Like, I am asking after the, I mean, like after the course, like, if I am to do the, I mean, like any updates on that. I mean, like a case studies. Would you support me or not? Like,
Yeah, we can discuss. We can we can be open for discussion.
okay. Basically, what my, I mean, like a point is, guidance. I mean,
Yeah,
like I need.
Manivardhan, that type of support we will provide on training. After training, if you are having any interviews, we will schedule. Like if you have one interview, two interview, that is okay. And as Piyush is saying, uh, he can handle all the scenario based questions what are going to be asked, but not in the interviews what is going to be asked, it is not sure, right? So yes, we will schedule demo sessions. In that one we are going to try to tackle what are the questions going to be asked. So that type of support we will provide.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sure then. I think we are running out of time. So probably you can reach out to Gautam if in case of any next discussions you wanted to have, right? And probably you can schedule a different session if you want. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Any
Thank you,
questions
Piyush.
guys?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.